Welcome to the South Pod, where we cover the storylines, the stats of the NFC South. I'm your host for the night, Corey. I got with me my boys, the crew. I got Kratos, Frodo, and Rich Dollars. And we in the house. We missing one, but we gonna roll with it. Because one monkey don't stop no show. He didn't want to show up today because he know we had some interesting takes for him. But if he comes in, we'll jump on it. But fellas, it was an NFC South sighting this weekend. 3-0, baby. 3-0 with the exception of Atlanta being on the bye, so that's 4-0. We went 4-0.
That's right.
I know everybody feeling good about that. I know Rich is feeling real good.
Hey, we're gonna drink a Bud Light to that. With the
you know you're feeling good. Both of them feeling good because they ass showed up today.
That's what I'm saying, Telly. I see what's going on for this season. They get a dub, they come to the club. They get a dub, they come to the club.
Hey, man. I'm calling their ass out. I told them all night.
I don't know which one of y'all are puking, and I don't know which one of y'all got down the orange, man. But don't do that.
All I'm saying is we don't see y'all till y'all get a win.
Nah, that ain't true.
Rich even put up the thing today. He was on time with everything.
I know. Hey, Telly, he was on one, boy. He came with the bullet talking points.
I do that all the time. I just
your ass don't.
You used to. You used to.
You used to be joining on the spot. You used to wear a suit every now and again, fuss and everything. Now you don't do a damn thing.
I think the thrill is gone. I think the thrill is gone, man. He ain't feeling his team. So he ain't repping. But yeah. Enough about Rich though. That dude down there in the bayou.
Yeah, he trying to hide behind that thing you got.
Look, that guy in the bayou is with us, y'all. He is with us.
Yeah.
Man. But we're gonna get into them games. But before we talk about those games, man, that was a Thursday night game. Rams versus Niners.
Was it?
It was a pretty exciting game. Mac Jones started for the Rams, and he played pretty decent. He played enough to win the game against the contenders. He played enough to win the game against the Rams, the supposedly contender. Well, we know that's a rivalry game because it's a division game. But nobody knew Mac was going to play like that. Did y'all fellas? I know I definitely didn't. But it could be the system. What y'all think?
Man, for me, man, that's something that, I've been talking to Will about all the time, man. Like, you take these mediocre quarterbacks, in my opinion, and put them in a Kyle Shanahan offense, and they thrive. Now, all of a sudden, we're talking about these guys, perennial, Pro Bowlers and all that stuff. Come on, man, get out of here. That's BS. It's a system. He played well, and he did what he had to do to get the win. But by no means, no stretch of the imagination, if Mac Jones is a perennial Pro Bowler or he's that guy. Absolutely not.
Mac Jones.
Who?
Mac Jones.
We're not saying he one of them, Rich, but let's see. They had a total of combined 407 yards. Mac had 333 passing yards. They had 74 rushing yards. So they really won on the arm of Mac. If that's what I'm looking at,
big facts.
I could be wrong.
Big facts. What was that stat sheet I posted in the chat, man? What Will got in his feelings the other day, talking about. Oh man, this is stats. You got to watch the game. You got to watch the game. You know what I'm saying? Because Mac Jones is 3-0, 301 yards passing, 6 touchdowns, 1 interception, at a 66.7% completion rate. His boy Purdy, his diehard love to be quarterback, he's 1 for 1, 293 yards, 4 touchdowns, 4 INTs, 65.8% rating. Passer rate, so completion rate. I'm sorry. So is Purdy really that good, or is Mac Jones a little bit better? He's better in the system, and we all know it's the system.
Yep, I concur.
Well, we all agree on that, man. I put it
on wax so we can go back and watch it. So you can see from the conversation. I said we're gonna bring it up today, baby. You ain't want to show up 49. Let's go.
Because, hey, somebody hit him up. He need to be on here because we got to talk about this because we all know what it is, man. Quarterbacks thrive in that system, even if it's just for one game. I remember Mullins you know, when he played for him, whatever, he looked good his first initial game. But a couple of games down the road, teams start having tape and they figured him out. So the system can carry you only so far, but then some kind of quarterback instinct needs to play a major factor in that team moving forward. But
Your
they doing
talent
pretty
starts to
good,
show up.
right? They 4-1 though, man. Nobody expected this with all the injuries they got. Nobody. I know I didn't. I was rubbing my hands like, hey, finally. These just got to go down, man, and they just keep winning. So you telling me Mac Jones can win without weapons, but Purdy needs weapons?
Mm,
Hmm.
mm.
That's a good argument, man.
I'm just saying, Mac doing more with less. I know Will probably come on and be like, Purdy done went to 2 Super Bowls and start calling everybody casuals. He gonna start calling everybody casuals. So, but for real, Shanahan got a nice system, just like McVay. Every quarterback that works in that system, they tend to their career it catapults and they get another starting job somewhere. It's fact. It's shown. Prove me wrong.
Facts.
Don't get quiet. Nah, man. We talking
No,
all
no,
that we were
you
talking about in the text, and now everybody quiet. Is it
no,
because he's not here? Is it because
No,
he's
no,
not
man.
here?
no, I said my piece.
No, and I agree, with you. We talked about the system. It was a good game last Thursday, but I wonder, did the 49ers hold on to win that game because of the turnover, 2 critical turnovers that the Rams have? It could have been the difference of the game. Yeah. But nevertheless, like we always stated, Mac Jones is actually playing well and he's doing more with less. Vice, in comparison to Brock Purdy, who, Will is big on. So it raises a lot of questions, and like, Dan, y'all paid this man that money, but now you got this guy coming in here, who's pretty much a castaway from teams, who's actually doing his thing thus far in his absence. So, what do you do when Brock Purdy come back? Do you still start him because he get the money, or do you still ride with Mac Jones?
They gonna do that dumb shit. They're gonna fucking go with Purdy because that's just how the system is damn designed. They want to see if the star can handle it, and if he can't handle it, then guess what? Then we'll put what you call it back in the game. Watch.
Did you call Purdy a star, bro?
I'm just saying for the 49ers, that little for them. I ain't saying that shit for me. Y'all know how I feel about the 49ers.
Oh, okay.
I can give
Well,
2 fucks.
from a business perspective, I'm gonna put Purdy back in too. Why? Because I just paid that cat a lot of money.
Yeah.
You got no choice. You got to put him back in.
Right.
So,
But
Mac Jones is
watch
back.
what happened though. Hey, they ain't, 49ers ain't gonna take too many L's. That's all I'm gonna say.
So what you saying? I'm gonna stir this pot. So what you saying
Okay.
is that if Purdy come back and sling it up, he gonna ride the oak, and then Mac Jones get the starting job.
They're gonna want to see what Mac is gonna be capable of because they're already showing. I mean, Purdy's already showing what he's capable of. So they're gonna give Mac a chance. Watch.
we got a quarterback controversy. Is
I
that what we saying?
like that, but I'm with Telly. I don't think that's going to happen because of the business aspect. I mean, Purdy had to play a couple of consecutive games bad for them to actually put him on the pond and actually give Mac Jones a starting job. So if Purdy comes back, and he's healthy, I think he's gonna start. But it is cause for a good conversation, though. Do you interrupt that chemistry, or you go with the guy that you already paid that money to actually see what he actually can do? And they're gonna make that business decision and go with Purdy.
It goes back to
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Go ahead, Will. Oh, no, hell no. Go ahead.
It goes back to case in point with Bridgewater and Breeze. Bridgewater, we was winning with Bridgewater. They put Breeze in that motherfucker. Look what happened. We could have kept Bridgewater in the fucking system. Mark my words. Watch what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
You're only gonna take too many L's. I'm serious.
They're not gonna take L's because they're going back with Purdy. But the simple fact is Kittles isn't there. Ayuk isn't there. Mac Jones doesn't have chemistry with the starters. Mac Jones is doing what he do with what they have right now. So quite naturally, they're going to start to get healthy as we continue in the season. And
Uh-oh.
then, they'll go from there. You have no choice but to play Purdy. That's
T,
you got to. Because
T
he
is
just like I said, he gonna come back. Yeah. No, for real. Hear me out though, Ted. I'm right. Ayuk, Kittles, all them boys coming back, and Mac ain't got chemistry with them. So quite naturally, you're gonna go back to Purdy, even if they continue to win. I think, like, say they play us this weekend, Mac Jones pulls, the upset, whatever, and then they beat us. Then I forgot who they play next week. He continues to win. By that time, Ayuk should be coming back. Him and Kittle. So what do you do? Do you say, all right, Mac, you stay in and add Kittles and Ayuk and let Purdy continue to rest? Lord knows you don't want that because that's
So they got coming up, man. I mean, they got a very favorable schedule. So I think you can kind of get away with kind of resting some of those guys if they ain't fully healthy. Because after the Bucks, you got the Falcons, you got the Texans, you got the Giants, and then you play the Rams again. So I think you
yeah.
can actually get away with at least two of those games without those individuals playing and still be able to possibly have a level of success. Possibly.
this man
But
shoot. See, he come. He done been on 2 damn podcasts because he got 2 wins, and now his ass shooting low key shots. I get you. We gonna let Late Ass talk about his.
Hey man, chime in here, old late bloomer. Give us your take, man. We were just talking about would there be a quarterback controversy if Mac Jones continues to excel in this system? Because he threw for over 320 yards, last game against the contending Rams, against the world beater Rams. He did pretty good against them. So I'm gonna let you have it. The floor is yours, sir. Welcome.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, sorry about being late, fellas. But no, I think it's three games, maybe four. We'll see how this one go. You can't get crazy off a 4 game sample size. Always liken it to Jimmy G. I remember when we got him, we hadn't won a game. We at the trade deadline we got him from New England, and he came in and he went 5-0. That was only 5 wins we got that year. And everybody was like, man, he's so good and he's the next Tom Brady. Everybody went crazy. And then eventually, you start realizing, man, yeah, nobody had tape on the dude. Nobody knew how he looked. And then, and then eventually teams catch up to you. The difference is outside of Jimmy G is, we didn't have this large sample size of Jimmy G's career because he was a career backup behind Tom Brady prior to that. We've seen Mac Jones for 6 years. You know what I mean? Same thing with Sam Darnold and guys like Geno Smith. It's advantageous and everybody gets real excited because it's what the pundits want to talk about. We've seen the full sample size of Brock Purdy for 2 seasons go through the playoffs, play over 30-something football games, and have success, a tremendous amount of success. And so when it comes to Mac Jones, I get it. It's the thing to talk about. There are things that Brock does exceptionally well in the system that Mac Jones just can't do. He lacks mobility. He's not a play extender. The wins he got were against the Saints. I forgot the other one. The Cardinals, where we just won by 1 point. And the Rams, which was a good win. And multiple times, again, we did everything to not only just win that game, but the Rams did everything to lose, which was uncharacteristic of them. There were multiple times where the Rams could have won that game, and if it wasn't for some fumbles, if it wasn't for a bad play call at the end, that game could have went the other way, and it would have been a whole different conversation. And that's just what it is. So, I like Mac. I love what he's doing, but he's a backup doing his job. He's just a backup doing what he's supposed to do. Go in and win these games. He does fit the system well. He's the type of quarterback that Kyle Shanahan likes. But if you understand and you watch the 49ers, we're not playing, and it's kind of what you was alluding to more. We're not playing, more you've seen us play Tampa with Brock Purdy. He throws the ball down the field. He's giving you 50, 30-yard bombs. He's very mobile. He can run. He can move. Kyle's not asking Brock to do a lot. He's throwing the ball underneath. When there's a play that's there to be had, that's his shot plays, he's hitting those shot plays. But for the most part, he's Christian McCaffrey out here with 13 catches out the backfield. You know, he's getting the balls to his players that he know can make plays. Mac is doing his job, and the one thing he's doing well is not turning over the football. But even in that Rams game, there was 2 easy interceptable plays at the end of that game where one boy, Buddy tipped it curl, and the safety was right behind him to take the ball, and it wasn't there. And that game would have turned the tide. It happened late in the fourth quarter. So yeah, I think Mac's just doing his job. I don't see Mac as competition to Brock Purdy or anything like that. He's doing well. Some team next season or the season after gonna get excited and they're gonna bring him in as a starter, and and it's gonna be what it is. You know what I mean? But I think Mac's just doing his job as a backup.
Yeah, we'll see. You know how long this continues. You know, whatever. All I know is 49ers got a good system. Speaking of good systems and a coaching tree, what's that coach from the Dolphins?
Telly got something.
Hold up.
Real quick. Mike McDaniel.
He itching. Go ahead, Telly.
Yeah. I just want to point out, I mean, you made a point, Will. I mean, Ed. You talked about Geno Smith. You talked about Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, we all say was trash for many years until he went to Minnesota. And then we still didn't feel like that was the real Sam Darnold. But Sam Darnold playing pretty damn well in Seahawks. So he's another good system that fits his skill set. Geno Smith had a pretty good year last couple of years in Seattle. He goes to the Raiders, don't like the same dude. Guess what?
Geno!
So what the point we're trying to drive home here is that the people that are successful in your team as quarterbacks is because of that damn system that Kyle Shanahan runs. So, like you said, we've seen plenty of sample size of Mac Jones in other systems and how he looks, right? He's played himself into a backup quarterback role. Teams know Mac Jones. Mac Jones ain't changing who he is. They know who he is. He's still 3-0. Care who he's playing against, they're all NFL players. He's 3-0. And his stats. So I haven't seen Purdy in no other system to tell me what Purdy really is. Only thing I see him is in the system that he's in. My own quarterback, old Matt Ryan, was an MVP, had a great season. Yes, the 28-3 debacle in the damn Super Bowl that everybody talked shit to me about. Oh well, but that year, that dude was untouchable. That team was untouchable. 40 points in the game. Why? But when Shanahan left, Matt Ryan left with it because he couldn't do nothing after that. The rest of the team couldn't do nothing after that. So we're gonna have to give more credit to your system than we do. I'm still out on Purdy, bro, until he goes somewhere else and show me he can do the same thing.
No, I agree with you. And to speak on that to rebuttal, my only thing is I'm a firm believer, like with Shanahan, he makes bad quarterbacks good quarterbacks great quarterbacks greater. Matt Ryan was already a good quarterback. First of all, let's just say that because he was that already. Kyle Shanahan took his abilities and elevated them with play calling and making things a little bit more easier. And that's what I'm saying. I know Mac Jones is not a good quarterback. He's a bad quarterback being elevated to good right now. Sam Darnold played in. Little do people know, Kevin O'Connell, all them, they're all running the Shanahan system. Even the coach he has in Bob Slowick over in Seattle. Is the disciple of Kyle Shanahan. He was in San Francisco last year before he went over there and took the Seattle job. You still have guys that need to call the plays. And just because you run the system, you have to understand the system and the quarterback has to execute. And that's where it's the difference is some guys process the game well. And I think Brock Purdy is one of the best processors of the game. And same thing I believe with Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan was an elite processor. And that's why I say with Mac Jones, it's kind of, to me, in that mode of like a Sam Darnold. He doesn't see the field well, but Kyle makes it easier. Whereas, Brock Purdy, we've seen him start a full season where he was finished 3rd or 4th in MVP voting. It looked a lot different. And with Mac, it still looked like it takes work. It seems like, he's trying to work through some stuff, but it's a difference between playing good and playing great. And I think that's the difference. We've seen Brock Purdy take this team in the playoffs where it's hard to win multiple seasons and win big games against the Lions, win games against the Packers, win games against the Cowboys, put the 49ers in overtime against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. So Yeah, I get it. These regular season wins are pertinent and they're awesome. But from me having watched the team and watching players play, he plays a lot like Jimmy Garoppolo. And it's nothing against him. It's not to take anything away from Mac, but he plays a lot like Jimmy Garoppolo, where if it ain't there, it can be problems. You know, he ain't about to run around. He ain't gonna extend. He's not gonna do nothing. He's not gonna play above the system. Brock has a tendency at times to play above the system. You need that sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes you do. But it's funny that we sitting here talking about the 252nd pick in the draft as in this aspect. But with all that being said, we wish him well in his future endeavors, whether Mac Jones takes his job or not. We all know what the system is, and we're gonna keep it moving. But speaking of systems and coaching trees, I think there was a finless dolphin swimming upside down in Carolina on Sunday. I don't know, man. Like they chopped on one of his fins and they just couldn't get right. There was a Carolina sighting this weekend. Like I said, NFC South came to play this weekend. Bryce had a mediocre 179 passing yards, but the factor was the rushing yards. Carolina rushed for 239 yards against the Dolphins. Rich, how you feeling today about them Panthers?
You know what, man? It was a roller coaster ride, being at the game and just seeing how it initially started. And I was ready to go. Right. My brother's on right now. He's watching. He's a Dolphins fan. And, he's cackling behind me. And I was like, shit, what is going on? Bryce Young, continue. And that's plaguing us. Bryce Young continue to make turnovers in key spots, man, where he has to actually fix that and address it. But the Dolphins got on top, man, 17-0. Mac McDaniel was actually doing what he needed to do. However, he went away from the game plan. I think he went in that locker room, snorted a couple lines, and came out there and shit the bed. And the Panthers were able to come back.
Rich, right? Because Whaler was killing, and they went away from him.
No, I was telling my brother, and I was like, damn, man, whoever got Darren Waller on their fantasy league team, he's about to eat. They was doing these dunk passes, and Waller was open. And when you see how big and physical he is in comparison to the other players, you had an advantage, and you totally went away from it. So I thank Mike McDaniel for going in there, doing an 8-ball with probably some of the defensive players too, and we were able to get that victory, man. But I chalked that loss up to Mike McDaniel, man, and coaching, because they outplayed us for the majority of the game, and the Panthers are able to kind of pull it out in the end with on the back of Rico Dotto rushing for 206 yards, man, and with a touchdown. So it was a good game, man. Like I said, a roller coaster game, and I'm glad we came out on top at the end of it.
Kelly, you think they should stick with the rushing attack in Carolina? What you think?
No comment about that team, man. No need to waste my time talking about that team.
I wouldn't have no comment either if I lost to them 30-0. So we got it. Let's keep it moving.
Hey, that's why I asked him. Rich, that's why I asked him, right?
I know. You gave him his one moment. I told you he had 2 wins. He be on 2 shows. So we'll
three. I missed 2 shows. We're going to week 6. I was here for 3 games, 3 shows.
He no show, no go. They don't show, boy.
You don't win. Rich ain't in. God damn it, that's all.
Hey, I was here the first show, man.
Hey, still don't count, bro. You gotta be here. You gotta take it, man. No.
Boy, notice what a win do for you, boy. It make you show up to places when you supposed to show up.
Come on now.
Early too, boy.
Get here.
Both of them on there, like cheese.
Look at that.
Yo. Hey, got medallions on, all that. We gonna get to you, New Orleans, but yeah.
Put the top shirt out. That's what I'm talking about.
Yo, matching colors. Look at him.
Coordinate, night boy. Coordinate.
Bring them out. That's what a win to do, man. It'll bring them out. I like that. But man, I think y'all need to stick with the ground and pound. Need to stick with it. It's working. That's both of y'all wins came off of rushing the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Not Bryce. You can't do it with Bryce. That's I don't see that happening anytime soon. He's still
You know,
developing. Right? Bryce is
he
still
is developing.
developing.
He is,
Man.
and you can clearly see it too, with some of the decision making or lack thereof when you watch the games.
Bryce gonna end up on the Browns. Watch.
Man,
Hey,
Bryce, I think it's nerves with Bryce, man, in the beginning of the game, man, because he normally turns it around, bro. Now, y'all run game, yeah, that shit on fire. Like, ooh, yeah. Rico was doing his thing, but I think that's what it is with Bryce, man. A lot is on his shoulders, and he's coming out nervous. I mean, that's just my take.
yeah, but at what point in time, man, you put those nerves to bed? You done been in the league 3 years, man. So it's out of
Man,
put up and shut up, and you got to get out there and you got to actually perform. So, you are an NFL quarterback. You're doing something that a lot of people don't have the ability to do, and you're not putting it together when this is supposed to be your, in my opinion, your coming out season to actually, put the naysayers in bed. I mean, you finished the second half of the season, pretty good, and everybody in Carolina was very optimistic that we're going to come out here and do our thing this year. However, that haven't really materialized. So at some point, man, you got to put those nerves to bed and get out there on that field and perform as an NFL starting quarterback. It's as simple as that.
man, any given Sunday, bro. Willie Beamer. That's what we're gonna call Bryce Young.
You know what I think though? I think in terms, like, speaking of Bryce or whatever, it just makes me wonder about how, you know, it took Baker a while to actually get his footing. Sam Darnold had to move from place to place to get his footing, and they found the right system to get them another opportunity or whatever. Bryce is going on. He's like I said, he's still developing. I think it's going to take a little while for him to actually, start performing the way they expect him to perform. Rich, question is Carolina and Canales going to be that patient?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think Mo, it's kind of what you alluded to, man. And I mean, you know this better than anybody. You mentioned like Baker Mayfield and guys like that. When Baker Mayfield was playing under Lim Cohen, another McVay Shanahan system disciple,
Mhm.
I would say, man, good coaches are like they're like GPSs. You have to make things easier for these quarterbacks, even though like people want to see they talk about systems and stuff like that. Man, coaching matters. Man, if you can't make the game easier for your quarterback, especially you got all these weapons, like it doesn't make sense that Tampa can ever be bad. Like you got all these cats running around out here. You got two backs in the backfield. So many of these coaches are asking these quarterbacks to do way too much. And it's like you said, Mo, if you just run the ball, stick to running the ball. I watched the Bills game, and Josh Allen is a great quarterback. You running the ball, you know, 12 times when you got James Cook. It's crazy to me. You running the ball with Kyron Williams, the Rams, they ran the ball 16 times that game. That's not McVay's offense. You got to turn around and run that football and try to shorten the game and play with the clock to make the game easy on the quarterback. But when you try to put so much on these boys and ask them to like, hey, win the game for us, that's where Carolina gets in trouble. That's where Penix gets in trouble. Like, man, run the football.
Man,
Run the
don't
ball
bring
short.
me into this. Don't talk to me.
Like you got Bijan, you got Algier. Like, man, quit trying to get cute. Like, and I think, man, like I said, good coaches are like GPSs. Like, man, tell a guy where to go, make it real easy for him, and then just like Baker Mayfield, you realize at some point he gets comfortable, then he start launching that ball up until he start trusting what's around him. But I think Bryce, it's like you said, it's gonna be week to week with him. It's gonna be week to week, So you just hope he can develop some consistency over time.
Absolutely. And speaking of developmental quarterbacks, there were two down in the Bayou playing. We had Jackson Dart versus with that boy Rattler, and the Saints got they first dub. Boy, Will ain't sick, he ain't coughing, he ain't doing none of that. They got that first dub. This boy is upbeat. He is on it. That was it was good to see the NFC South being represented yesterday. New Orleans had a total of 332 yards. Rattler passed for 244 yards. Kamara was quiet, 88 yards rushing. So Spencer Rattler is down there also developing, and he's starting to come about. And like Will said, coaching matters. I don't know if Kellen Moore is the right fit for New Orleans yet. We still trying to see what it is, but Rattler is competing for y'all. He's definitely competing. Kratos,
Yeah.
is this the future, or are we going to see, a swap here later on in the season if they feel like the season ain't, going where it should?
Nah, man. There's not gonna be no swap. Rattler is showing every week that he's growing. And he's finding different targets. He's finding Miller now and Rashid Shaheed. Miller 41 yards and Shaheed for 114. I do have to give it up to the defense as well because the defense was causing some chaos, even though they're old as fuck. I mean,
I don't know how many more games like that they got in them. But yeah, go ahead.
I'm just saying, I'm happy for the damn defense that they showed up, man, because they were causing interceptions and fumbles, man. I mean, I was happy to watch that game. Like, seriously. Even though that damn first touchdown, I was like, oh, shit, here we go. Do I go to the movies again? But nah, other than that, man, it was a great game for me.
Any recommendations for the week moving forward there, Kratos? What would you like to see from the Saints this next game?
If they continue to play like they played them Giants, I mean, that's all I can ask for.
I mean, Olave is pretty quiet down there, man. Is that going to be trade bait? Like
I won't
he's
say
not a
trade
part
bait.
of the offense. Like
I'm not saying that they're trying to save his life. To be honest, I hate to say it like that, man. But I mean,
facts.
too
That's
many
fact.
more hits, and what's going to happen? So now we might be playing it safe right now with Olave.
Hey, well, congratulations on y'all win. Whatever.
I'm happy as shit.
Speaking of dubs and everything, the Bucks went to Seattle and they got caught up in a track meet and they was able to finish strong. Like the 400 relay, it was basically no defense being played, none whatsoever. Total of four. That was almost 1,000 yards between both of us. 463 for Seattle and 426 for Tampa. Donald and Baker were hot, man. They were hot. Smith and Jigbu and Emeka were hot also. So it was basically like a Ohio State coming out party and to see who had the best receiver out there. So Rashad Whitefield in for Bucky. Rashad did what Rashad, is always going to do. He's a solid running back. He's a 1B to me. He's not a second string running back. And I said in the beginning of the season, fellas, if y'all remember, Bucky can't carry this. He too little. You keep giving him the ball like that all the time. This is what's going to the result's going to be. He got a sprained ankle in his shoulder. Is injured. Nevertheless, we got depth at the running back, and Rashad White came in. He had 2 touchdowns. He was hell on blocking. Baker was back able to do his thing back there. And then, like I said, no defense was played. None whatsoever. But that boy Mecca, I'm telling you, rookie of the year. Rookie of the year. Moving forward, Tampa needs a D line that can actually get out of the quarterback. Hassan Reddick, to me, maybe he pacing himself through the season. Yaya hadn't taken that push that I thought he was going to take this season. He's just a guy. He's going to continue to be just a guy until he proves me otherwise. They can't get pressure with the front four, which causes the secondary to get ate up. That's with any defense. Levante getting old. He showed it Sunday. Missing a couple of key tackles. He was always a foot slower. He got an interception. Hey, but he always going to be around the ball. That's the good thing about having a savvy vet on the team. But, man, I must admit, Donald looked pretty good to me. He looked pretty good in that game. What y'all think?
I agree with you, man. But he did make that critical turnover at a key point in the game that I think turned it around for you guys. But like everybody was saying earlier, we had a chance to see Sam Darnold. We wasn't high on him, but he's actually proven us all wrong by playing very well in Seattle this year. And that game could have went either or, man. But he definitely did his thing, man. And I kind of wish I would have saw that Sam Darnold in Carolina back in the day.
Yeah, hey, truth be told, Sam Darnold did throw 2 picks. He did throw 2. Winfield got 1, but they called a flag on it and gave it back to him. So Donald turned it over. So it was like I said in the text.
Yeah.
Last person with the ball winning. Last one. So that brings us to 4-1. We still sitting on top of the division. You know, I know telling them hated that because they really need probably us to lose one. And now they coming off a bye and they got to play a pissed off Bills team because they lost. So this Monday night game is going to be pretty interesting. Like Ant-Man said, you got Bijan, got to run the ball. You got James Cook, you got to run the ball. So what are we going to see out of this game coming up on Monday? Just keep that in the back of your brain, Housing Group. We're gonna move forward and talk about some other stuff. So around the league, man, there's a couple of trades going on. I just saw come across the ticker. Flacco, that's the one I want to talk about. Went to the Bengals. What in the Sam hell? Why Jameson can't get this kind of chance? Why Jameson can't get that spin? What is it about Flacco that makes you want to put him on your team? He's not going to catapult them to do anything. Like we always say, you know what you're going to get. I don't get it.
I have a belief. I mean, I'm more of a Flacco guy than I'm a Jameis guy. And I think what it comes down to a lot of times is I think the Bengals have a phenomenal head coach. He's another McVay disciple. I think that's what they like. Those type of quarterbacks, the quarterback that knows where to go with the football, that will play within the system. Jameis tends to Jameis. He gonna reach. He gonna do something that he just ain't supposed to do. And, just like with Shanahan and Kevin O'Connell, they like robot quarterbacks. They want you to do exactly what they want you to do. They don't want you to do more. If it ain't there, check it down. And I think that's what Flacco does. That's why they like Flacco. They want to see quarterbacks do what they want them to do. Jameis is not going to do that. Jameis is going to go out there and freestyle. He going to start off doing what they want him to do, but when he feel like he sees something, he going to go get it. Or he going to feel like he going to go get it. And it's going to end up being a pick. And I think that's the difference when you talk about going to get Jameis or getting Flacco. I didn't think they would get Flacco. I thought they would go after Kirk Cousins, honestly. But I think when you say, Flacco ain't going to do much, I disagree. I think they're trying to get to December. And I think the way that defense plays, I really do wholeheartedly believe Cleveland has the second or third best defense in the league. It just comes to like them not getting burnt out because they're not generating anything on offense. I think but with the Bengals, it's asking a lot of Joe Flacco. But I think they just want to get a few wins until Burrow comes back. And I think Flacco, outside of Kirk Cousins, gives them the best chance to do that than what they have. That's what I believe, and I think it could work out. If they could come out of here and be competitive into December, and when Joe Burrow comes back, I think that's what they want to make a push. I think they see themselves can make a push once Joe Burrow get back.
Okay, so let me give you a rundown. They got the Bengals coming up after their bye. They play the Steelers next. Then they play the Jets. That's the first win I see. They play the Bears. That's not going to be a cakewalk. Then they play the Steelers again. Then they got the Patriots. So you telling me that all they got is one more win. That's it. That's it. One guarantee. Who they beating with? They gonna beat the Steelers?
I don't think none of those teams you mentioned above are that good to where they're losses. I don't believe that.
With Flacco, they're going to win with Flacco.
I absolutely don't believe that any of those teams. I don't think Pittsburgh has took losses. The Patriots have. They're not. I mean, them beating the Bills was the Bills beating themselves early. I watched that game in its entirety. I don't. The Bills lost that game. I don't think the Patriots are that good. I don't think Pittsburgh is that good. So yeah, I think all those games are winnable. Absolutely.
If the Bengals had the Browns defense, I might be on board with it.
Yeah.
But no, man, they're gonna be. It's gonna be shootouts.
Also, Cleveland don't have T. Higgins, Jamar Chase.
Yeah, but they also don't have that good of an offensive line too. So that was one of the questions I wrote down. So I'm curious, does Flacco? And I mean, that was some very interesting takes that you brought up, but I'm curious to know, man, does Flacco actually take them over the top to actually get them to a point where they can actually just ride under the radar till Joe Burrow comes back, if he comes back. But I'm with Corey. I don't think so, man. I don't really see them actually winning 2 games within the next 4 weeks. I don't see it happening.
And I think that's fair. I'm with you. I'm with you too. I think the line is definitely the biggest concern that I have.
Yes.
If anything, I don't think it's an issue with him finding Jamar Chase. And it's kind of like what Mo was saying with Trevor Lawrence. Like, some guys just don't see the field well.
Mhm.
That's not an issue with Joe Flacco though. He sees the field well. He knows where to go with the football. He plays on time, and that's what they want out of their quarterback. Jake Brown is back there, man. He's struggling. Like, Joe Flacco he's gonna recognize coverages. He's never been in the West Coast system before, and I think this is gonna work out for him really well. I really do.
And I really would have been buying everything you were saying if it wasn't for the offensive line. I agree with you, the assessment on Joe Flacco. But for me, that's the key component, man. Jake Brown is not playing well whatsoever. You do have an upgrade by bringing Joe Flacco in, but we can't actually let it escape us that he is 41 years old. The offensive line is not that great, and you want to talk about a lack of mobility. He's probably getting pushed to the parking lot in a wheelchair after every game. So that's the huge concern I have with Flacco. So until they actually shore up that offensive line, man, I think it's going to be an uphill battle for Cincinnati, whether they have Joe Burrow or not.
Yeah, and then with Flacco moving to the Bengals, that moves Shador up to QB2. Now, Dylan didn't look too bad against one of the best defenses in Minnesota.
Tell it.
In the league. He didn't look too bad. So what is that? Where we go now from here? Where do we go? Do we keep letting? Well, obviously he's going to keep starting.
The time
is there a point? Is there a point where he sees the field? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, I mean the clock's ticking on Dylan Gabriel. I mean, they keep taking losses. I get what you're saying, but this is also a Minnesota team that don't have a starter either. They don't look good. The defense look good, but the defense only can look good if the offense is looking. If they're playing complementary football, they're not doing that in Minnesota. So he had his opportunities, but he also made a lot of mistakes too. The more losses they take, they're gonna start evaluating that roster. The time is ticking on Dylan Gabriel, and I think by them trading Joe Flacco is a clear sign of that. Is that they're willing to make some changes, and I think they're gonna do that when the time comes. It's just a matter of them losing a game that they feel like they're supposed to win. At that point they put Shador in.
You know what the most what a conspiracy theory would say. They keep Dylan going long enough, and then all of a sudden Dylan is doing bad, right? He's doing bad. And now all of a sudden Deshaun Watson is healthy. Shador ain't seeing the field.
Man,
he's not seeing the field.
Watson towards Achilles twice. He ain't playing this year. You ain't coming back.
I'm just saying, all of a sudden, Dylan is thinking up the joint, right? And I'm just conspiring. He's thinking up the joint. The Browns organization is so petty. Like, hey, Deshaun, you coming back. You're coming back.
You thinking this
Don't
year?
mind me. This year.
Yeah, I remember I said before the season started that Deshaun Watson was going to play this year. They already talked about. They talked about. I think week 7 is when they're projecting that man to be ready to come back. I told y'all that. They paid him too much money. Ain't nobody gonna take that contract on. They paid him too much money. They're gonna make that joker play. They're gonna make him play to see if he is enticing enough to another team that they get something in return for him. Yeah. They ain't get no money back, but they can probably get a draft pick, a couple of draft picks. That dude's gonna play. That dude's gonna play.
Yeah, let's go down this rabbit hole. Okay, so that happens. What happens with Shador?
Nothing.
That's foul shit.
Nothing, because I'm with everybody else. Deshaun Watson may come in and stink up the joint too.
Right.
Right.
And nobody say he's gonna play good. I just say he's gonna play.
No,
I'm with you. They gotta see what they got. They gotta see what they got for that $200-some million.
Yeah, I'm with you, bro. I mean, you can't move him. Right. You gotta play him if he's healthy.
So this is what I'm saying. So he come in and stink up the joint. Boom, boom. don't the Browns got first round draft picks this year, 2026 in the first
Don't they
round? They
have
got two
they
or
have
something like that, right?
they have
Yeah,
first round draft picks every year, don't they?
Right.
many of them.
Do they go get another quarterback?
They got permanent
Who's
rookie.
out there? Who's out there to take? Really?
They don't get no quarterback.
Nesmeyer?
I
Oh,
don't think
hell
I don't
no.
think they get a quarterback.
Yeah, I
really
don't think they go quarterback either. I think
No
that's
quarterback.
malpractice. I mean, it'll be
Yeah.
reminiscent of when the Lions went 3 back-to-back receivers in the first round. You got
Mhm.
quarterbacks on your roster,
Right.
and I think you're gonna have to play them just to know. Deshaun Watson is washed, and it may just be a mental thing. It may just be him being in Cleveland. I think he's a great quarterback, but I think Cleveland is just not the place for him. I think he may come in and stink up the joint, and they're gonna have to figure out what they might do, and hopefully a team. I don't know if at that price tag, but hopefully a team willing to take Deshaun Watson and try to revive his career because he's still young.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the money aspect of it is gone for Deshaun Watson, but it's beneficial for both Deshaun and Cleveland for Deshaun to play halfway decent, right? If he plays halfway decent, then at least I don't know what's on my camera, but anyway, at least he can get to a point where they can get some trade capital for him. He can go to a team with a better system. You know, he had some decent days. He might be a good backup quarterback somewhere. Unfortunately, for another year or two, because there's obviously not the greatest backup quarterbacks in the league right now, but he could fit into that space with somebody for a couple of draft picks. That's my take on that. I don't see them wasting that opportunity, and Shador will be fine, man. He's gonna get his opportunity to play. But maybe not this year. If he do get this year, it'll be garbage play just to see some stuff. But then next year it's going to be a battle between him and Gabriel for the starting lineup, for the starting job, and they'll get a seasoned vet, a Mac Jones, to back him up.
Hey, as long as the system works, Mac works.
Mac works. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it could also be a situation, man. I'm looking at. I mean, quarterback play across the league this year has been, for the most part, been terrible. I think there are several situations where teams going to be looking to move off guys, and like Frodo was. I mean, the money thing is a non-factor. I mean, the Denver was willing to go in the hole to let go of Russ, and I mean they paid him a substantial amount of money as well. It's going to get to a point in Cleveland. It's like the money don't even matter. And I think Arizona could be in a situation where they're looking to move Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
And that's just a name that comes straight off the top of my head, but he's not the only one. Anthony Richardson's the guy. I mean, the list can go on. So Cleveland going out and drafting a guy, I don't think is likely, but I definitely think there are situations where they could bring guys in and compete as a starter in that for them. So, like I said, I don't think the money thing's a factor either at this point, because if you don't want them there, they're gonna move on from them and try to get some draft capital. And I think they actually could pull something pretty substantial back for Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, my bad. I agree with you, Ant, man. I think this offseason you're gonna see a quarterback carousel where you're gonna see a lot of guys actually on the move. But in particular, those two guys that you mentioned, first, Anthony Richardson, Kyler Murray, what will be ideal fits for them as far as teams where they could potentially thrive in? Because what Daniel Jones is doing in Indianapolis, Anthony Richardson days, I hate to say it's number. There's no reason for you to actually keep him with what he's actually done thus far. So what would be ideal situations for those two guys to actually go in particular, talking about Kyler Murray and Anthony Richardson?
Well, Anthony Richardson is that's a failed project. They risked it all and it didn't pan out. I don't see him going anywhere and starting or whatever. He's gonna be playing behind, maybe possibly competing for the second string job. He
in the XFL or the NFL?
I said, oh, you talking about the XFL?
I don't think he's gonna be in the NFL next year.
No,
that's what I'm saying.
I'm with you, Mo. I think Anthony. I thought he was a bad prospect coming out of Florida. I don't know what they saw. He was a terrible quarterback at Florida. He was just he should have stayed a long time. But I mean, I know the way the league works. He is the quarterback, and teams value quarterback. He has at some point won games in the NFL. I think teams are going to be willing, just off the sheer attributes, his physical attributes. I think teams are going to be willing to take a shot. I think both of those players, Kyler Murray and Anthony Richardson, have to get with offensive-minded coaches. I don't think Jackson Dart's the answer in New York.
Oh, hell no.
We have to watch how this Carolina thing plays out. There's a lot of situations, how the Spencer Rattler situation plays out. We have to see all this stuff through because we don't know right now. And it's like what's name was saying, like, this offseason can be weird because if there's a lot of quarterbacks, man, it's just some more questions than answers at this point. And I think Kyler Murray is going to be the most attractive name that's out there. Deshaun Watson is going to be another attractive name that's out there. Kirk Cousins is finally going to be out. So I think you could see a lot of movement if the price is right on some of these guys. But it's going to get interesting for sure.
Yeah,
there might be an opening in Miami.
That too.
Nobody won't
concussion to it. Right, that's what I'm saying. Oh, now if Tua is out at Miami, who will be a good fit with McDaniels? Maybe Anthony Richards. Maybe.
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cobain's. Kirk Cobain.
That's what we want.
That's what we want.
I think the price tag too high on Kirk. Kirk agent be robbing folks. I don't know who's gonna pay him that money again. I don't know. We'll see.
Because Kirk ain't going nowhere unless he can get something guaranteed. We already know that. And Atlanta does not have the capital to take on, like, even a trade in that. No.
My thing is what I know about Kirk. Like, Kirk wants to play in that West Coast system. He loves it. And I think if it gives him an opportunity to get money later on because he believes he can thrive, I think at this point in his career, he's going to be – if I was his agent, I say, hey, man, if you can get with a guy like McDaniels, who you know this system, who you've thrived in this system before, and let's be honest, we all know JJ McCarthy ain't the answer in Minnesota. We know this. They're going to keep trying to make that thing work, but he's not a good player either. So Kirk Cousins could find himself back in one of those situations if he's in that offense, and that's what he wants to do. He wants to be in the West Coast offense.
So you mentioned potentially Kirk, getting married, to Mike McDaniel. But do we think Mike McDaniel is actually going to make it through the season and still be in Miami, though?
I think Mike McDaniels is the best possible coach for Tua. Tua is the issue in Miami. He's very limited. I think his brain is scrambled. I think he cooked. Mike McDaniels has indeed lost the team. I believe that. But I think that's only in part because he chooses to stick with Tua. I think if I was a wide receiver, man, Tua can't get the ball up the field. He does not see the field well. He doesn't play on time consistently. I think the more the frustration with the receivers are with Tua than it is with the coaching because they running around open. They ain't getting the ball. So
I'm a slightly disagree because I watched him play, and that's all. And you said coaching matters, and I'm telling you, coaching mattered in that game. Tua was actually doing the things that he needed, and McDaniel totally went away from the game plan. Some of it too, I look at wide receivers. It's a comfortability with them, and it's laziness when you actually look at some of these routes like these guys are actually playing. I think Tua is a little off in the head from all those hits, but I think if he has a line, I seriously think if he has an offensive line that actually can protect him, he could thrive, man. He puts that ball in. I saw him put that ball in some places that was really tight. That touchdown pass to Devon A-Chain, that touchdown pass to Jalen Waddle, touchdown pass to Darren Waller these last couple of weeks. He's been putting that ball on the money. Yeah. I think coaching played a factor in some of this stuff and not being able to protect him. And not going down at times.
And that's where I agree to disagree because again we're talking about consistency. You saw that game against you, but I'm seeing him throwing picks that he has no business throwing weeks prior. The loss to the Patriots, the loss to the Bills, where he had an opportunity to win both of those games, and he threw horrible.
Absolutely, I agree.
Unexplained. So when I talk about, I get what you're saying. Tua is very capable of doing all of that. He's one of the most accurate quarterbacks. He throws a beautiful catchable ball when he plays on time. But when there's oftentimes where he doesn't, and the receivers, like anybody that's played that position, when the ball ain't, Waddle be surprised when the ball come to him. So I mean, I get what you're saying. Their defense, Greer is a horrible GM. They've dismantled that team in so many different ways. It don't make sense. It's a failure on the organization as well. But you can't go for 1 year where this team was averaging again almost 40 points when Tua was playing well when McDaniels first got there, and then now Tua, get a little brain rattle. He's a whole different player now. He doesn't play with confidence. He's a lot more vocal. I don't know who he think he is. A lot of it's Tua, and I think the players know that. But again, I think things have gotten old with McDaniels because he's chosen to stick with Tua because he actually believes in Tua. But yeah, I don't see Tua. He's gonna be there because he's paid, but I don't see Tua being the answer. And I don't think Tua can do it for him.
I tell you this though, if Mike McDaniels is out in Miami, he's gonna get picked up quick to be somebody's coordinator.
Yes, he is.
That's exactly where I was gonna go, Corey.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to tell you.
That motherfucking coach.
If Dummy, my head coach, is still around next year, his last thing is to go get McDaniel back to the Falcons where he was at before under Shanahan, and he'll have another left-handed quarterback that he can have fun with. So
absolutely,
that's I've been having my eye on it since I started talking about he might be on the hot seat to get up out of there. And yeah, we'll give up Kirk Cousins for that, Joker, if that's what it's taught. That's what it takes.
I think McDaniel. I think McDaniel needs to get out of South Beach because he's doing more than coaching. So
I concur.
He
needs to get out of South Beach, bro.
Yeah, everybody do. They go to South Beach, don't they? Everybody do. So yeah, I remember. I was stationed at headquarters, Marine Corps, and then I went down to help Morpho South out in the exercise, and I came back to headquarters, and boss was like, "Hey, they love what you did down there. They want to know if you want to come down there and get stationed." Absolutely not.
You sound like Cam Newton. You sound like Cam Newton when they offered Cam Newton to go down there.
Miami, we all know Miami ain't for everybody, man.
Ain't for everybody. Ain't for me. No,
man. Like if you don't have a discipline, if your mind ain't wrapped around it, you're not gonna survive Miami.
Cam's like, hell no. You see how many kids I already got?
That unit, man, they stayed gone into the Caribbean 270 days out of the year, bro. And I was like, so if you can survive the Caribbean for 270 days out of the year, then you got to go back to Miami. That's a fail.
And you turned it down.
I turned it all the way down.
Hey, good man.
I'm good.
Oh Lord.
I ain't like my wife.
That's one to definitely keep an eye on if McDaniel goes on the move where he ends up. I think he have his pick of the litter wherever he wanted to go. But we still got more games to play. We still got more games to play.
Come fill in.
Week six, man. Some key matchups going on. What's standing out to y'all as you look around the league? We got Monday night with Atlanta versus Buffalo. I'm gonna be interested in that game right there.
Yep. Why,
I'm
man?
definitely gonna be interested in that.
You got a chokehold in the division. I ain't even. I'm 4th place in the division. What are you talking about? I'm the last thing you got to worry about. Just your team. Right there. Those two right there, they the one you got to watch out for.
Hey, Atlanta isn't dead yet. They aren't dead yet.
We don't have no offensive coordinator.
But hey, that Monday night game is going to be interesting. Go ahead, Rich.
I think for me, man, it's the most interesting game that I'm looking forward to actually seeing. It's the Baltimore game. Baltimore against the Rams. For the simple fact that, I wonder, if Baltimore lose again, does that spell the end for Harbaugh?
No.
I don't know why. I don't know why the defensive coordinator hasn't been fired yet. But I think if they lose that game at home, heads got to be rolling.
Man,
somebody got to go.
I think John Harbaugh like Mike Tomlin, man. Like the dude got 9 lives. I think I'm serious, man. Like I want to say like it looked like they look cooked in Baltimore. They're not even competing. But for whatever reason, it just John Harbaugh is their guy in that building. He's their guy. It's hard to find coaches that can win consistently. And all those good coaches have these weird seasons. This is the worst season under John Harbaugh, let's be honest. And I don't think you can fire him for one off season. I really don't. Because he's proven to be a good coach. Like I'm with you. Like it looked like a lot of people should be fired over there right now. To be honest with you. But it's like, are you really about to fire one of the most longest tenured? I mean, he's been there since 2008. Like, I mean, let's be real, man. It sounds good. I don't see it. I just don't see it. I know how to organize. Like the Ravens have only had 2 coaches in that franchise. 2 coaches, and that they move like the Steelers. They are very similar as an organization. Ozzie Newsom's still there. I just don't think that they doing that.
Every coach
make the playoffs this year?
Hold up, Red. Let me address this. Everybody ain't meant to go with you. So you saying after one failed season, but that's not the standard in Baltimore. That's a season ain't supposed to be the standard. They ain't been nowhere with him and Lamar. They haven't been anywhere after the regular season. So you got to put all of that together. Maybe Harbaugh isn't the guy to get them over that hump. Just like when we had Tony Dungy, and then we come in with Chucky, and we win. Even though Dungy did everything, everybody know that was Dungy's team. Everybody know that's Dungy's team. But Gruden came in and gave him something a little different, and it got him over. So you saying stick with Harbaugh throughout all of this when he get him to the edge, he just can't push him over. That's just me. I don't think he's.
You know, more. I agree with you. I mean, when the last time Mike Tomlin done won something?
Right. Oh,
I agree. I agree with you, and it's hard to freaking win, man. I used to tell players that. I used to always say, man, it's hard to win. And one thing he does do at a good rate. I mean, he's won games. He hasn't won the big one. He hasn't won the biggest ones. He's won one. He's won the 8 Super Bowl, but he wins a lot of football games most of the time. A lot. And I get what you're saying, but a lot of teams can't win no games, and a lot of teams ain't getting nowhere with regularity. You can't say that with John Harbaugh consistent. You know, he gives them an opportunity to get there and win and to compete, and that means a lot as a fan when you know that you have a chance to compete each year in and year out. I get what you're saying, but we can say that about a lot of teams, and a lot of teams don't even have a chance going into the season. As long as Harbaugh's there and what he's shown, he's been competent enough to have that team in a competitive situation each year. And again, outside of this year, I don't know. But even with Mike Tomlin teams, they haven't been great, but he gives them an opportunity to compete because it's consistency. So I get what you're saying. But again, like you go fire Harbaugh, who's to say, like, you know, the next best thing? I mean, Kyle Shanahan ain't won nothing. So you fire him, you know, like,
so say they let Harbaugh go and they bring Mike McDaniels in. Man, he unlock another level. He unlock another level to Lamar, and they win the Super Bowl. And they win the Super Bowl. Is that Harbaugh's team or is that McDaniels' team?
But again, that's all hypothetical. I don't know because right now when I look at Baltimore, I think the defense is the problem. To be honest with you, they don't look good at all defensively. This is very uncharacteristic of a team in the AFC North.
They just traded one of their DNs. They just traded one of their DNs today.
Yeah,
too.
I mean they got to
something like that.
Yeah, I think Oway and yeah, I just think they're having that just one of those years, man. I really do. I think they're going to be back next year, or if they don't if this year don't pan out the way they want to, I think they'll learn because I believe Harbaugh, he's a competitor. I think they learn and they get better. I think they'd be incredibly aggressive and get that team where they believe it can be.
We'll see. We shall see. In the state round, fellas.
Don't be trying to low-key kill my damn hopes there, Corey. I see that slick. No, leave McDaniels out of Atlanta because I don't want that smoke. No, don't be trying to do that. So,
why would I? Come on, man.
So if Harbaugh is let go, we'll take him with the quickness down here in the ATL, and we can go get McDaniel. We have a super team down here. We'll be good to go.
They gonna elevate your Georgia boy Todd Monken the head coach then.
Monken.
Monken. He's still struggling to be a coordinator right now. In my opinion,
all the coaches that's on the hot seat, man. Who's the next coach to get fired in y'all opinion? It's gonna happen.
Man, it's gonna be Gannon. in Arizona. Gannon.
I was about to say that too.
I
Yeah.
think it's Gannon. If I had to put them in order, the way I see it right now, I think Gannon's gone. I think McDaniels lost the team. I think he's out of there, and I think Raheem ain't too far behind. It's a shit show. I mean, it looks bad. To be honest with you, all those franchises. Like I'm not gonna lie. I'm so disappointed in Atlanta. They're such a good team, man. They're good. They got guys, and it's just like I love Raheem. He's just not a head coach. I mean, we've seen this thing, and we've seen this twice, and it looks the same. It looks the same like it did in Tampa. It's like they get there, and it's like, man, they got these guys, and it just ain't working.
Can't get over the hill.
All that fake hype crap he tried to do. I'm like, man, nobody buying that mess. So yeah, I like the guy too. I was okay with him getting a second chance in an ATL. But yeah, my time is up this year, and I had questions about him because of his choices in coaching. Since he came aboard, I was like, who is this dude? Why would you make him your offensive coordinator? He hasn't done anything. His record doesn't show anything. He has too much loyalty to people he's been there and done that with, and that's his downfall. He needs to understand that he needs to bring in his strengths where his weaknesses are to make him be a likable coach. Let's pray together, let's talk together kind of coach for the players, but have a hard-nosed defensive coordinator and a hard-nosed offensive coordinator because he don't want to do that. But that teams need that. They need somebody to put their foot in their ass to play week in, week out with some enthusiasm. And that's what Jeff already brought into the defense. That's why our defense kind of shows up. But that offense is like, yeah, we here, we ain't. We here, we ain't. We here, we ain't. No, nothing. With all that damn talent. So he got to get.
Yeah, I and another guy they mentioned, I think Brian Callahan is done in Tennessee. He's trash. I'm with you, bro. I think
another Brian.
Yeah, I think
and the Giants.
Yeah, I think with Raheem, I love the person. I think he's awesome. I think he'll be a phenomenal defensive coordinator. But he cooked as the message starts to get old, whatever it is. And I think it's worn through, and because they're not winning games, and then the message is Pete Carroll cooked, he done. They need to get rid of him. Yeah, like it's all kinds of stuff.
Let's go back to Raheem though, real quick. Let's stay right there because this the NFC South. Let's stay there. Say they come out Monday and they wet the bed against the Bills. Does he make it through the season? He coming off a bye. He's gonna make it through the season.
Yeah, he's gonna make it through the season because that's the type of owner Arthur Blank is. He's not gonna do that. And I think the only person on that team that is likely and half-ass worthy of being elevated to the head coach would be Jeff Ulbrich, which he just had that opportunity. I think it's too soon for him. I think he needs to just stay focused on defense like he's been focused on defense and keep developing those young guys. So you just stick with what you got. We that's at week 6, man. Just ride it out and we just make concessions for next year to have him gone. But that's my thing.
Yeah, I think it's too many young, attractive offensive minds in the game right now. When you look across the league, at certain teams that have been consistently winning, that when you're Atlanta, now I'm with Frodo. I think Arthur Blank would never do this. That's not something that he does. And I think he respects Raheem that much, so where at the end of the season, he'll bring Raheem in and say, hey, you obviously know we didn't get to where we want to be. I think Raheem can understand that, and I think they move on. But I just think there's too many options out there as young coaches because the league is getting young, man. The league is being dominated by these young minds, and I think everybody's looking to get one of those guys. And they're tired of these these retread faces. Like, I don't think the league's going in that direction. I think we'll see a lot of new faces as head coaches. Like I said, I think Callahan's one of those guys. He's just out. Pete Carroll's done. The list goes on, but I think those are the guys. I think Tennessee, that's the only game Tennessee gonna win this year.
And they shouldn't have won that game.
They shouldn't have won that game.
They shouldn't have won that game.
That was some trash.
Kratos, Rich, appreciate y'all showing up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'll see y'all in 2 weeks.
This guy.
Hey,
Oh, we
appreciate
got
y'all
furlough
showing up. They got furlough, a shutdown. Jelly, we got shut down. He
Hey,
furloughed.
y'all got furlough from the podcast, damn it. And y'all ain't getting no back pay either. We don't do that around
Damn.
here.
Hey, they winning, so we expect to see more of them. Let's see who they got this week. Y'all got the Cowboys,
Got the
Rich,
Cowboys at home, man.
We about to
and
get
then
lit
the
up.
Patriots with the Saints.
Uh-huh.
Is it gonna be two more wins?
You
Two
about to
more
get-
wins, and they gonna be here for the pod again.
You about to get lit up, Rich. We gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about you.
Oh, we will talk about it. We're not gonna get lit up. I think, you know, I'm agree with Ant, you know, and I know we were giving him shit when he kept talking about when the game was going on. Coaching does matter, man. And I think you have to put these guys in positions to go out there and win. And also, as players, you got to be able to step up too, man, and do what you're paid to do. Bryce has to definitely minimize that on those turnovers. You can't continue to have turnovers and think that there's going to be a level of success with that, because we could have very easily lost that game because of the mistakes that he made. So hopefully, you know, they talked about that. They addressed that. We stick to the running game and, you know, go out there with a good game plan. And, you know, hopefully, you know, embarrass the Cowboys out there, because they embarrassed us at, you know, Charlotte the last time it was there. So it's a little bit payback for the Panthers organization as a whole and for Rico Dowdle, who, you know, that's his former team that's coming into town.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We shall see, man. But that's it, man. Thank y'all for joining. Go ahead and continue to like, share, subscribe, and follow us. And shout out to LeMans Richardson, man. He been on here with us the whole pod.
Yes,
From
sir.
beginning to end.
Thank you.
Shout out
Thank
to him. We appreciate the support,
Appreciate
man.
the love, brother. Appreciate the
Yeah,
love.
but until next time, y'all, tune in.
Yeah.